Kart 265, and Ollie Varney for MLC Motorsport, last year's 4th place championship finisher. He starts on the outside of row 5 as the karts leave the circuit. There's your grid on screen. We've done the top 10. It's João Ferreira and Isaac Valtonen on row number 6, Rowan Grinwies and Nicholas Scholl on row 7, Ethan Hawkey and Sim Liedma on row 8, Ben Wooldridge and Milo Lichterlein on row 9, Jan-Philippe Springomb and Martin Wulicke on row 10, Patrick Kibble and Simao Ventura on row 11, Bruno Ponte and Christopher Shani on row 12, Sebastian de Grande and Manuel Golofre Torna on row 13, Rubens Bushabke from the Lebanon and Baz Delart on row 14, Jonathan Brown, the second chance final winner from Ireland, starts 29th alongside his fellow second chance race qualifiers Nicholas Bayet, Patrick Degenbeck, Levi Lindocanto and Maria Soli Polson, with Robin Vax in Kart 260, who we saw passing 2 drivers on the last lap to get to this stage. He starts shotgun on the field. Now, looking at the timing screens, I can see, or rather it's what I can't see, that is raising my eyebrows. And I can't see the number 204 kart of Ollie Varney, and I know not why. Did Ollie Varney miss the closing time for the grid? Because the 204 kart is not there. He's due to be starting the 5th driver on the outside row, just behind the number 235 kart of Ido Cohen, and as you can see going through your picture there, he's not there. Behind Ido Cohen is Isaac Valtonen. So Varney will be starting the main final stone last. But up at the front it is Brown, Nutley and Kimber on the front row, Ward and Van Sprunteren, Clark and Gevirtz, Petele and Cohen, Sutumno, Ferreira, Valtonen and Rohan Grinwies. They are your front starters. Have we got a start in this 14-lap race? Yes, we do. Brown Nutley holds off Brett Ward as they go into turn number 1 now. Hold your breath. 33 drivers trying to get round turn number 1 cleanly. Oh, there's a couple of drivers at the back of the pack. Milan Petele is one of them. Oh, Petele is off and out of the race. Patrick Kibbles had to run wide in avoidance. There's 4 or 5 other drivers involved, but Milan Petele in the number 238 Praga kart out of the race. There's the number 229 kart going through your picture. That is Nicholas Bayet. And up towards turn number 6 now. We're going to get everyone through turn 6 cleanly. You can see that the 4 drivers at the back of the pack there were all held up, but it's still the pole man, Jordan Brown Nutley, leading from Brett Ward. Then Mark Kimber. Oliver Clark has made a good start. He's a bit to P4 in kart number 251. Oh, there's a couple of drivers running wide there. Number 271 is amongst them. That is Ethan Hawkey for the Piers Sexton Racing team, running a little bit wide. They complete lap number 1, and it's Brown, Nutley, Ward, Kimber, Clark, then Jana Gevirtz in kart number 212, followed by Ido Cohen, Rowan Grinwies and Joey Van Sprunteren has actually lost ground. For the first time all weekend, Van Sprunteren has lost ground at the start. Brett Ward in kart 202 with the yellow flicks on the back bumper of that kart, just to differentiate it, because it hit the Dan Holland Racing graphics kit and the Evolution Racing graphics kit at a distance look very similar indeed. Ward is got the yellow flicks on the rear bumper and the black race suit. Jordan Brown Nutley has got the blue race suit in kart number 244, who leads this race. Kimber is 3rd, Clark is 4th. This is Oliver Clark's first time here at Genk, and Oliver, even though he's raced in the CIK FIA Academy for the UK, he's not the largest of drivers, and he's got a lot of lead on that kart, which makes it very difficult for him to touch a curb because there's an awful lot more stress and strain on the chassis. So Clark is having to learn how to drive without going near the curbs. Oh, a problem there for number 229, Nicholas Bayet, one of our B final qualifiers, going slowly past my commentary box, but that is well down the order. And Brown Nutley is not getting away. Well, he's certainly not dominating like Chris Lulham has dominated in juniors. He's leading, but he's got Ward, Kimber, Clark, Gevirtz, and then Trying to catch up with them is Rowan Greenrees and Joey Van Splunteren. A change for second. That is Kimber and Ward swapping places. Then look at them looking at each other thinking, no, we can't be doing this. Let's try and push on. Jana Gewertz there in kart number 212, chasing Oliver Clark. Into turn number 11 they go, and that one little battle between Ward and Kimber is allowing Jordan Brown-Nutley to pull clear. And you can see Brown-Nutley has gone from no lead to about 10 kart lengths of a lead. Can Kimber and Ward close him down? Well, Brett Ward and Oliver Clark there side by side with Jana Gewertz. Now, Gewertz may have to accept the fact that Clark will not make it easy for him, so he may just want to push him along, but he doesn't give Clark an option. There goes Jana Gewertz. Clark fights straight back though, going down the back straight, and Gewertz trying to squeeze Clark to the inside. Well, Clark was trying to squeeze Gewertz to the outside of the grass, so Gewertz says, no, I'll squeeze you. And the net result is they lose a bit of time, but Gewertz does get the place. That's 4th place. Clark back to 5th. And behind them, closing in, the 2 Dutchmen, Greenrees and Van Splunteren. There's Greenrees in kart 223. Van Splunteren directly behind him. Then it's Ido Cohen in 8th, Isaac Valtonen in 9th. Then Talapanpong Sutuno and Nicolas Scholl in 11th place. João Ferreira 12th and Sim Liedmar in 13th place. Christopher Shani, the Frenchman, is 14th. And Manuel Golofre Tournier rounding out the top 15. What can Brett Ward and Mark Kimber do? Ward is back in front of Kimber now, but Van Splunteren comes up with a new fast lap of the race. 56.193 for Joey Van Splunteren. Brett Ward and Mark Kimber 4 tenths back. They've got to work together to close that gap. Can they get some help from Jana Gewertz behind them in the number 212 kart, the P1 Events team entry? Brett Ward for Evolution Racing. Oliver Clark coming under pressure there from Rowan Greenrees and Joey Van Splunteren. There goes Van Splunteren and Greenrees to try and pass Clark, and I think Clark's lost a couple of places there. Yes, the 2 dark red and black karts emerge in front of Clark, with Van Splunteren shoving his countryman through. So Rowan Greenrees in number 223, the Peter De Bruyne racing driver, the 16-year-old driver from Capel. He moves ahead of Van Splunteren. Van Splunteren now passes Van Greenrees. Says, oh, thank you very much, Rowan, but it's time. And Greenrees there now giving a signal. Well, that's typical karting manoeuvre. We go past the driver. Once we're ahead of the driver, then we turn around and say, now come on, let's think about this. Don't try and repass me, let's work together. And the driver that's just been overtaken is thinking to himself, well, why didn't you use your head and push me along? Why did you have to overtake me? It's all well and good you saying that now. You're in front, son. And Oliver Clark responding like most drivers would do and just sending one up the inside of Greenrees and saying, well, now you think about it. But look at this, all that arguing, you can see the top 4 are broken clear. Brett Ward and Mark Kimber have caught Jordan Brown-Nutley. The battle for the lead on lap number 7 of 14 is about to kick off, and Clark and Greenrees are way back, and Van Splunteren is in the picture at all. Has Joey Van Splunteren gone off, or he has? He's crossed the line down in 20th position. So, and one of the barriers at the Button complex has been dislodged. So maybe that little discussion was happening a lap ago between Greenrees, Van Splunteren and Clark. The net result is that Van Splunteren has made contact with one of the barriers. Clark and Greenrees have now been caught by Ido Cohen, you can see going through your screen there, and they're not around. They're 2 seconds back from the leaders, so if the leaders do start battling, they're not involved. We complete lap 7. Kimber has also had a problem. Kimber's dropped back and is now battling for 3rd place with Jana Gewertz. Brett Ward has gained a full second on Mark Kimber on that last lap. The lap times here are 57.2 for Kimber, a 56.3 for your race leader Jordan Brown-Nutley. This is now lap number 8, and Brett Ward has got Jordan Brown-Nutley all to himself. So Brett can think, okay, I haven't got to worry about what's going on behind me because nobody is within a second of me. All I've got to do is focus on following and learning. Where is my kart better than the race leaders? Rest of the top 10 flash through your screen. Here comes the mad cart of João Ferreira going through your picture very briefly. João in cart 240 up into 10th place, and Brown Nutley just feigns a little defensive manoeuvre there on the start-finish straight, as if to say, don't even think about making a move, Brett, because I will cover it if need be. This is lap 9 out of 14. Brett Ward content to just sit in the wheel tracks of the race leader. Through turn number 5, down the back straight we go. Ward hunched down in his cart. Two very different driving positions. Brown Nutley bolt upright, straight back, letting his arms do all the work. Brett Ward a lot more physical in the cart. He's hunkering down. He's moving his body around. You can see him crouch down now into the brakings area. Now he sits up, moves his body to the side to move in, trying to just move the weight around the cart as much as he can to help. Brown Nutley, he hasn't moved. He just moves his arms, head back, straight up. That's the classic European driving style that we see a lot of. And here comes Brett Ward to the inside into turn number 1 as we start lap number 10. But Jordan Brown Nutley fends him off. Mark Kimber still 1.1 seconds back in third. Gewertz is fourth. Clark fifth, and Clark is still battling away with Grinweis in sixth. Sutumno is over a second back from them in seventh, and he's got Shoel and Cohen right behind him. Got a big 4-second gap back to Christoph Schani. There is the number 233 cart going through. That is, oh no, the 233 cart, that was maybe the 236 cart of Martin Villeke in the Euro karting entry, running out of the GKS racing team awning this weekend. There is Grinweis going through, followed by the battle between Sutumno, Shoel and Cohen. Looking down the order, we seem to have lost Olivani at the start. Bruno Ponte has retired. Milan Petele went out earlier. And I'm looking down the order, and Joey van Splunteren is only 17th. So obviously Van Splinteren's kart is okay because he is closing back up to the leaders, but he's just got to try and gain as many positions as he can ahead of the final itself. So Brett Ward once again looking to the inside. He draws up behind Brown Nutley, doesn't make his move, but Mark Kimber is closing back in. Kimber has managed to shorten that gap between himself and the top two from 1.3 seconds to 0.8 of a second. This is lap 11 out of 14. Kimber in kart number 248 is catching the two leaders. There's Patrick Kibble going through your screen. He's recovering from that first corner incident, and Kibble in the Metro Group kart is back into the top. No, he's in the top 25. He's only 24th at the moment. He's gained 9 or 10 places. On to another lap. And there's the move for the lead. Brett Ward picks his moment, takes over top spot. Brown Nutley tries to come back at him and does. So Brown Nutley briefly lose the lead. But look at that. Kimber has closed right in. So Brown Nutley on lap number 12 leads. Ward has already shown his hand once. So Brown Nutley knows he's in a fight. Kimber is there. So a British 1-2-3. Kimber has caught them. Now, will Mark Kimber start picking off Brett Ward straight away, or will he wait? We're on lap 12 out of 14. Through turn number 9. Brown Nutley leads. Looks over his shoulder to see where Brett Ward is. Now, Brett Ward's got a problem because he's got to worry about Kimber as well as Brown Nutley. This is not ideal for Brett Ward. He's not close enough. Jana Gewertz is still fourth. Oh, they jinx to the inside, but Brown Nutley holds him off. Mark Kimber gets a good run out of turn number 1, but can't make any room for himself. Clark 5th, Grinweis 6th, and Jordan Brown Nutley on lap number 13 defends into turn number 5. Will we see Jana Gewertz close in? Brett Ward dives to the inside. Brown Nutley's defending. Brett Ward now swings out wide to try and get a run underneath. Kimber's lost a bit of ground there. So Mark Kimber, I think, having to brake on the outside there and lost a bit of ground. Jana Gewertz has closed it on Kimber, but Brown Nutley certainly driving defensively. Well, it's the penultimate lap of a pre-final. He's entitled to do that. Jana Gewertz is all over Mark Kimber like a cheap suit, and Kimber's now having to defend. So Kimber's defending third place. This is going to give Ward a chance, but Brown Nutley has opened up a lead of over a second as we start the final lap. Jonathan Brown gets a warning flag. into turn number 1. Gewertz grabs third from Kimber. Clark and Grinvies are right there in 5th and 6th as well. So it's 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th together. But Jordan Brown-Nutley, wow, was that a bit of perfect tactical driving? I'm not sure Brett Ward was too happy about it, but Brown-Nutley, with a lap and a half to go, suddenly slowed down, defended, and then when Brett Ward had to take slight evasive action going into the Button Complex, Brown-Nutley said, right, I'm gone. And Brett Ward now won't catch him. So Jordan Brown-Nutley is going to maintain his unbeaten record, barring some sort of mechanical catastrophe in the last couple of corners. Here he comes through the turn number 9, and here's the battle behind him. Grinvies trying to pass Clark, who's trying to pass Kimber, who's trying to pass Gewertz. Nobody wants to finish second. They all want to finish third. So Brett Ward, will we see Brett Ward slow down as they cross the line? No funny business as they cross the line. They all manage to maintain racing speed, and Jordan Brown-Nutley maintains his unbeaten streak and wins by a second over Brett Ward. Jana Gewertz is 3rd. Mark Kimber finishes in 4th place. Oliver Clark is 5th. Rowan Grinvies is 6th. Tanponpang Sutomotno is 7th for Thailand. Then for Austria, Nicholas Scholl comes home in 8th place.